Hello flight simmers, welcome everyone to the next full flight video. Today we are in the beautiful PMDG 777-300ER extended range. And yeah, in fact this is take number 2 of my takeoff out of Chicago, since yeah, I managed to record the takeoff without hitting the recording button, and I don't know what's the thing about it, but it happens like every 20 or 30 recordings. Like no matter how good or how well I prepared, yeah, it happens from time to time. But never mind, since it is super fun to take a heavy 777 into the skies, I am, yeah, in fact, very glad I get to do it once again all over. So yeah, here we are in the Cathay Pacific 777. Beautiful aircraft here. I think first time for us flying the 777 on the channel. Not the 777, of course, sorry, but flying Cathay Pacific on the channel, of course. And I was quite surprised myself when I noticed I've never been flying Cathay before. But yeah, so here we are, and on a very cool flight. We are flying a very long one from Chicago over to Hong Kong, 15-hour flight time today. And yeah, it's a bit of a special setup, a very cool setup, in fact. So let me guide you through it. So Cathay usually operating a rather huge fleet of 777s. Most of them are grounded at the moment, and they are just flying a few, which I believe all have been converted to freighters, or not like fully converted, but they have taken some seats out and doing cargo flights only. So today we are also doing a cargo flight only. And yeah, we are flying the aircraft registered Bravo Kilo Papa Yankee, and this is in fact the real world aircraft also operating on the same route. So I believe the livery, which by the way is from I9 Builds, also with the new texture set, so we have very nice engine textures and all this kind of stuff on this aircraft right now, which I will show you later. I think they thought about it as well and provided us with the registry, which is currently operating, and this is super cool. So we have a very realistic setup here out of Chicago today. And yeah, also preparing for the flight, I googled a bit about 777 cargo capacity just to see what the passenger aircrafts are able to carry. So the 300ER, it can load in terms of weight. You can put around 50 tons of cargo in the cargo compartments combined. Today we are around 38. I will show you why in a second. Reason is that's the maximum we can set in the PMDG 777. And yeah, in terms of capacity, we can carry 44 of the small containers, which would be this one over here, or 14 pallets, which are these ones, or even a little bit larger than these ones. So yeah, today we apparently have a mixture of both currently being loaded into the aircraft. And yeah, beautiful reflections already here on the fuselage. Very much looking forward to the flight. Only thing not entirely correctly is the departure position. I am now at stand Mike 19, which is one of the international stands. In reality, the aircraft had a stand somewhere back here, which is a new part of the Chicago apron, which has not been modeled by FSDreamTeam yet. So that's why the real-world cargo position is not, or real-world stand is not available to us. So we are departing from this one here, which is also fine. And yeah, as you can see, weather is pretty nice here in Chicago. We are departing around 4 PM local time, and then we will get to Hong Kong at around 8 PM local time, which I haven't looked up sunset time in Hong Kong, but it might be a sunset landing, which would be of course very nice, but we will see that in around 15 hours from now. Right, a lot of traffic taxiing out just now to the runway, so yeah, we can take some time to get there. But since GSX already loaded all the cargo, or basically all the cargo, let's jump into the flight deck and then we can prepare. Right, so here we are, and first things first, just want to show you guys what our payload is on here. So we have a 04205, and I've maxed out the cargo in here, and this is what it gives us. So it's not quite 50 tons, I think it's around 38, something like this. And I think the reason is PMDG of course has configured it with a passenger configuration, and now in reality you could put a little bit more in there, but even with our current payload we are very close to max takeoff weight, in fact. And in order to show you this, guys, quick look at Sim Toolkit Pro. And yeah, so here we are, 0.205. You can see there's a bit of headroom, but in terms of takeoff weight, just about 10 tons shy of max takeoff weight. That's pretty crazy. We have discussed the routing, the time, cost index 70. Initially, flight level 300. We will see when we can do some step climbs. So yeah, that's really cool. And maybe a quick look at the routing as well. Yeah, so very northerly, departing out, yeah, pretty much almost straight north, and then into Canada, where they have these crazy heat waves at the moment. And then into Alaska, crossing Alaska, then yeah, along the Pacific, heading into Japan, and I think over Japan we will be crossing a bit of a jet stream, and then finally into Hong Kong. I think somewhere there are these jet streams on here. Yeah, that's the one over Japan, and it's also pretty high, flight level 410. And this is very strong. That's almost like 150 knots of wind. So yeah, let's see how it is when we get there. It might get a bit bumpy over Japan, but up to this point, I think we should be fairly good. Right, and yeah, that's that. Weather here is super nice. Wind 9 knots from 040. 22 degrees, altimeter is 3010, and very nice. And I think same over in Hong Kong, at least for now, but I think also the forecast is quite alright. Yeah, so I think we will be good when we get there. Right, now route is loaded in. Performance, let's accept this, and reserves will be 7.1 today. Alternate is, I think it's Macau what's in the flight plan. Not too sure. That's correct. Cost index 70. Reduced vertical separation minima. We can leave it at that. That's looking good. And then we will of course get the wind data. First waypoint being Pumpkin today. And as you guys know, there are no sits out of Chicago, so we would just fly runway heading and then yeah, go to the first waypoint. Right now it's at 76. I think it will come up in a second. Just needs to update all the data in the background. Transition, of course, being 18,000. I expect we will exceed 250 knots on the climb out, but that's fine for such a heavy aircraft. And yeah, so it's only the performance left. Only the performance left. So initialize flight. And now let's see. I think for departure, when the 10 is unused, they are using 10 right or center. Wait, give me a second. 10 center it would be for the departure. Let's see if this works for us. Conditions are dry. Wind once again was 040 at 9. 040 at 9, like that. 223006. Takeoff optimum. Let's go PAX off today. I just hope I can remember it for the departure. On the first take I did not remember it, so maybe we have a good chance now. And this is going to be an auto 341 calculate. Right, flap team today, 15, very cool. Very nice, and 106.2 N1R, that's crazy. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very cool. Departure 10 center, execute. Thrust limits 29. 106.3, 106.2, that's close enough. Takeoff, flap 15, I should enter the wind 040 at 9. Reference temperature 22. And trim 6.5, and this is 165, 75, 81. Very high speeds today, but that makes a lot of sense, so 181. Like this. And initial heading 10 centers 093. And then for all the departures out of Chicago we have an initial altitude of 5,000 before we get cleared to the next one. So flight directors Elnav, Vinav, cool, looking good. Yeah, now it came up. So 16.1, and that's plenty. That's of course all the contingency fuel kicking in now on such a long routing. So that's looking very well. Okay, we are pretty much done with the preparations here. Let's make sure APU is running already. Also to give us some nice air conditioning. Emergency lights go to arm. Right, and now we're just pretty much waiting on GSX to finish the boarding. You can see up there they are boarding passengers. Apparently 381 today, which of course is incorrect, but yeah, unfortunately we can't configure GSX for passenger only, cargo only flights, so that's of course why we are boarding passengers, and that's fine. And I will, yeah, we'll get back to you once the loading is completed. Alright, the aircraft is loaded up, fuel truck, not tow truck of course, sorry, is coming in. So we can start to prepare the overhead panel. Fuel pumps are coming on, center one certainly as well. Beacons are going on. And the other hydraulic pumps as well, seat belts, although we have no passengers. That's looking good. And the before start checklist, flight decks, doors closed, MCP, we have set this, takeoff is done. CD prepare completed, trim, taxi and takeoff briefing, beacons are on, looking good. Right, yeah, just during the cargo loading I noticed that AI traffic is departing out of runway 10 left, so let's in fact also recalculate for 10 left. It is a bit longer, so it's a bit more friendly in terms of engine wear and also fuel consumption if we switch over to 10 left, so let's do that in a second. And off we go. Right, so 10 left, but all the other data stays the same. 040 at 9, I think it was. And that's looking good. So this even giving us a flap 5, but yeah, let's go flap 15. We are heavy today, and it's yeah, a bit more special going flap 15. Okay, 36 temperature. Here we go now on 10 left. Of course, deleting the speeds, and that's fine. Takeoff thrust limits 36. 101.9 here. It's 102.3. I think that's still fairly close, so I'm happy with that. And then flap 15, 36, 166, 76, 80. So just the V1, 166, 180. Right, and yeah, that's looking good now. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire up the engines, starting number 2, and let's listen in. Yeah, so this is the new tech. Oh, why is he coming in the other direction? That's weird. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so these are the new textures. Now it's looking much better. We have better engine textures overall, and especially the wing. Like this part used to be super blurry on the standard textures, but now with the INI Builds texture pack, it's looking much nicer. Very beautiful sound. I'm really looking forward to hear these engines during the takeoff roll at almost full power. Okay, starter cutout starting number 1. Okay, looks like we have 2 good engine starts. Generators are running, so APU is coming off. And then takeoff trim needs to be 6.5, so we need to trim it up quite a bit. Like that, and then this goes to traffic advisory, this goes to RTO. We will do the flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, and the rudder, full left and full right, completed, and flaps position 15. And then the before taxi checklist, anti-ice off, don't need that, recall is checked, auto brake, RTO, flight controls, ground equipment. Cool, flaps will also be set in a second, taxi lights are coming on. Right, and so let's go. I believe we will need quite a bit of power to get us rolling here. Okay, and now let's see. So this is Victor 5 off to the left. The next one will be Victor 4, and we can take this one to the left. And this will put us eventually on November, which we can then take down all the way parallel to the runway. Let's see if we can get an airport map in here. Yeah, so we are all the way down here. Oops. Taking the next one somewhere on November, I think that's this one, and then parallel to the runway all the way down. That's what we will do. Alright, let's take the turn slowly, especially with these heavy weights. We should not exceed the turn speed of 10 knots. 747 departure, beautiful. Still going a bit fast. Okay, and now the right-hand turn onto November, and then it's simply straight all the way to the end of the runway. Alright, we are finally getting there. So, first of all, let's put on the transponder, TARA, and then traffic, weather, VORs on my side, and on the first officer, VOR, traffic and terrain. And looks like we are lucky the approach is free, so let's put on the lights, strobes. And then we can do a fairly quick takeoff now. Yeah, so talking about the takeoff a bit more, so especially with these high weights. Look at this Qatar 777. Very cool. Yeah, especially at this weight, we should definitely brief for what kind of reasons we would abort the takeoff. Now that's a bit hard for me to do since I'm not a real-world pilot, and that's is of course exactly the situation where the lack of knowledge is kicking in. But yeah, certainly if we get any like with increasing speed in the high speed regime, we would only abort for ATC call, engine fire, non-flyable, and this kind of stuff. So the really bad things. And yeah, basically after passing, I would say 80 knots, so we are in the high speed regime. For any kind of minor failures, we will still continue the takeoff. Since going into an RTO at this kind of weight, that's gonna keep the aircraft on the ground for a couple of days at least. Right, okay, but we are lined up, everything is looking good, so let's rock and roll. This timer goes to on before takeoff checklist is completed, and now I'm just remembering, I almost forgot it again. Packs are coming off. It was a last minute call once again. Okay, but now we are all set, so let's do it. Power is coming up. 50%, power established, and toga. Oh, beautiful, the GE engines. Absolutely amazing.
On taxiway, on taxiway.
Disregard.
80 knots.
Yeah, 80 knots already. We are speeding up fast, but then again we need to get to very high speeds as well, so power is needed here today. These engines are crazy. I mean, like, accelerating 350 tons of weight in such a short time. Rotate. Okay, long 777 going to 7.5 degrees. Heel effect kicking in and rotate. Gears coming up. We are airborne. Yeah, so on this aircraft it's really prone for tail strikes. So that's why we only. Yeah, pegs. Of course the pegs are off. That's what I planned for. Okay, so disregard. Okay, let's do the left-hand turn, and I will keep it at flap 15 until we have completed the turn, and then I will give the aircraft some space to speed up. Climb power. Yeah, so I was just about to mention, so the 777, you can Google for it, the landing gear is pretty fascinating. It has this kind of high heel effect during the takeoff or during the rotation. So on the last bit of the rotation you are only being put on the last two pairs of wheels, which is pretty cool. It gives you a little bit of extra lift in order to mitigate the risk of tail strikes. That's really fascinating technology. But still, yeah, we only rotate to 7.5 and wait for the liftoff. Okie dokie, that was good. We are climbing. Let's put on the autopilot. Keep it climbing. Flight level 300. Like this, and we are accelerating. So flaps 5. Okay, flaps 1, and now we can put on the pegs again. And look at how high these flap bugs are today. Really crazy. Okay, passing 240, flaps up. Climbing at 260 knots. After takeoff checklist, all green completed, and then we can. Taxi lights are coming off. Okay, everything looking nice and smooth. No traffic on the radar. We have a nice climb performance. That's what we always have in the 777. Very powerful aircraft. And yeah, so I would say that's it from the departure. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and hope you enjoy the music in view mode, and then I will meet you back in a very long time from now. 15 hours approximately, not quite. So enjoy, and see you later. Hello flight simmers, welcome back to the flight deck just as we are passing 10,000 feet, so let's pop those landing lights on like that. And yeah, what a beautiful evening lighting we just had a few minutes ago. Amazing sunset. Now the sun has already dropped below the horizon, just the last bit of light we see from over there. And yeah, pretty cool arrival here so far into Hong Kong. Or actually pretty crazy cruise as well. I mean, now we have an airtime of 14 hours 47 minutes, and I mean that's so crazy to think about it, especially since lately I've been flying a lot the DC6 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and comparing to what aircrafts are capable of these days, it's just mind-blowing. Like carrying 40 tons of cargo 15 hours through the air. Crazy stuff. And yeah, but now let's talk about our landing into Hong Kong. You can see it's all dialed in the navigation display already, but let me guide you through it. So we are on the, let's go to the star, the Ebay 3 Alpha RNAV arrival, starting from Ebay, and now we are pretty much at Chung Lung VOR. Yeah, TD Tango Delta, just right over it. And next up will be Guava, and then Sokoi, and then Limes. And yeah, from Limes on we'll be on the final approach into runway 07 left today. So here's Limes, and yeah, then onto Tonic, and then onto the final approach 07 left. It's a pretty normal ILS, I would say, fairly normal ILS arrival. In terms of speed, we are, yeah, well, now we are light. We have burned a lot of fuel, so final approach speed going to be 140 plus 5 makes it 145. I've also previously run the calculations. Yeah, here it still is. So flap 30 plus 5 makes it 145. Runway is pretty long, 11,900 feet, and landing distance required, and this is no credit to the reversers, is 7,200, and this will be quite convenient. Looking at the charts again, since yeah, coming in 07 left and the aircraft parked up right over here, so it's a pretty short taxi, and if we can exit Alpha 8 that would be ideal, then it's really just a very short taxi. Alpha 7 is also fine, and also I have pulled up the landing distances available. That should be here. Yeah, landing distance available 07 left, and Alpha 7 is 64,000 feet, and Alpha 8 79. So we will likely, yeah, maybe with the reverses working, we will be able Alpha 7, if not Alpha 8. It's even more perfect. So that's all set, and that's all happening on an auto brake 2 setting. And altimeters are set 1005, and the weather is quite okay. So early on we had a couple of weather radar returns a bit east of the airport, but not over the airport, and we have variable winds at 7 knots from 140, and yeah, few clouds, 12,000, is it 12,000? No, it's 1,200, sorry. Yeah, that's down below. There's still a little bit of a cloud layer down there, but yeah, we have already passed most of the cloud layers. Right, and now we're pretty much parallel to the airport, and down there it is, coming into view. And sorry about the ocean, so that's really a thing which I think is, like, it has not been an issue with Prepare 5.1, but now with 5.2 suddenly all the ocean at night is really blue, and it's super unrealistic. Not sure what's happening with it. I've tried to mess with the settings a bit, but yeah, no improvements. So that's looking a bit weird, but never mind. Right, and I've also put on some range rings. So the outer one is the 10-mile range ring, to know that at this point we want to be at least on a flip 5 setting, and then the inner one is the 4 miles to be at a full landing config. That's the goal for today. Yeah, and then we only need to look out for traffic a little bit. Still, we are on AI traffic, so you never know what these guys are up to. Right, and I'm just thinking, have I missed anything for the approach? Or yeah, maybe let's have a look at the go around procedure in case we need it. So Yeah, this is the final approach, and then for the missed approach, climb 5,000 at threshold or 520, whichever's later. Okay, and then from the threshold we are heading 059. DD 2500 or above. Okay, and then just following the procedure over to Tonglung VOR. It's pretty straightforward, and then on to Limes where we'll be holding again. So yeah, actually, to be honest, the go-around procedure is quite scenic. I mean, then we will have a beautiful view on Hong Kong itself. But yeah, although it's beautiful, we should aim, of course, to not use it. But never know. Okay, so 5,000 anyway will be the go-around altitude. Cool. Okay, currently I've set 3,000 in here. I think glide slope capture 1,600. Okay, so let's go as low as that to make sure we are not leveling off accidentally at any point. Okay, now coming into Sukhoi, and we are already going into this right-hand turn. Maybe at this point we can also turn down the dome light. I think this is way better for landing, and yeah, just checking the speed. So it's dialed in tonic 180. Maybe I will go manage speed. You know, we have 10 miles until the range ring approximately, so would be kind of cool to start slowing down. Okay, and then we can go ahead and set the speed brake. Speed brake is armed. Look at these buildings. It looks like, compared to Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's really a huge difference. This looks totally crappy, to be honest. But I haven't checked out Hong Kong and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Maybe that's an idea for the future. And I think this is Macau Airport, like the sort of stretch of land which we can see here. That should be Macau Airport, and I think that's our alternate for today. Okay, let's go flap 1. And speed 200. And you know what, guys? Let's pop on the wing lights today. I know that some airlines sometimes do during arrival, just to be more visible to the other traffic, and it kind of gives us really nice wing views. Very good. Okay, I can see some lights over there also. I cannot see it on the radar, which is a bit weird. Oh. Okay, never mind. Seems like I have traffic switched off for the entire cruise. Well, that's good. Okay, never mind. Okay, flap 5. Slowing down. 10-mile range ring is coming up. And then speed 180. Okay, we are below the glide slope, that's very good. Okay, but that seems like he might very well be on 07 left, so let's slow down a bit more. Flap 15, speed 160. And then I hope he will be gone from the runway once we get there. Okay, we can arm approach mode. Runway is coming into sight. He's like 7 miles ahead. That's believe me guys, in reality that would be totally fine with AI traffic. You never know how long they take to get off the runway. Might take forever. I think he's about to touch down. FPS are coming down now a little bit. That's probably all the lighting loading in. All the scenery. Alright, yeah, once we get close to the runway, I do expect once again that we will not see the landing lights properly on the runway. Apparently that's still a bit of an issue with the sim. I don't know if it has to do with the shaders or something like this, but yeah, lights on the ground are barely visible, which is a bit unrealistic, but unfortunately that's what it is for now. Okay, I think, if I'm seeing that correctly, he is on the runway, so I mean that should be fine. Okay, let's drop the gear. Keep the flaps coming. Flaps 20. Yeah, that's because the gear's not down. But that's fine. Ooh, visibility is reducing. Interesting. And then final approach speed 145. Glide slope is captured, so this is going to 5,000. Okay, landing checklist completed. FPS are... yeah, this direction is not too great. Over here it's okay. It's many buildings and many lights in this direction, that's why it's a bit bad, but okay. Okay, is he clear of the runway? Yeah, he's just vacating. Perfect. This light looks crazy. I hope the scenery is loading correctly.
7 left.
Okay, my aircraft. Now let's hope for a good one. Speed, it's exactly the 7 knots coming in from 140. Here's an aircraft departing 07 right, also looking quite stunning. Yeah, it's just the water which is really destroying the immersion in my opinion. Okay, a bit high according to the glide slope, but we are spot on the par piece.
Approaching minimums. 100.
Yeah, very dark the
Minimums.
runway.
30. 20. 10.
And come on, bit of a flare.
Long
There we are.
Long landing.
Reverse. Yeah, now we can see. Ah, okay, that's also a texture issue here. Interesting. Yeah, a bit of reverse. I had reverse only. That's more than enough. Right, and manual braking, idle forward. And this is Alpha 8. Beautiful. Spot on. Ooh, bit of a stutter here. Okay, so welcome to Hong Kong, everyone. Nice, we've made A380 Lufthansa, A380 Emirates, beautiful stuff. Right, let's do a quick cleanup. Also fire up the APU. It's gonna be a very short taxi. Landing lights, turn off, taxi strobes come off. Rest can stay as it is for now. Right, okay. Yeah, I feel like the dynamic lighting here at this airport is not especially the best. Brakes. Yeah, flips are coming up. What else? TA. And auto brake goes to off. Let's check the taxi map. Parking stands. So we are now on Alpha 8. We will continue on Alpha 8 and then on to Bravo 7 and take one of these gates. So 66, 64, 62, whatever is available. '62. And it's probably next to the British Airways Cathay, please. Yeah, beautiful Lufthansa A380. I haven't seen this one flying around for a very long time now. I think Emirates, they are bringing back some A380s at the moment. I think the first ones are already back operating. And what's that? Qantas, as it looks like, departing. Beautiful. Yeah, always busy here at Hong Kong. Okay, let's turn off the taxi lights. And see where he is putting us today. Looks about right up to this point, probably a bit further. Yeah, I think he's taking us too far. Yeah, there's the 777 marking, so we are spot on. Right, parking brakes. APU is running beautiful, so we can kill the engines. I forgot to stop the flight time, but I think it was pretty much 15 hours on the spot. Block time 15:21. Beacons and wing lights and seat belts, fuel pumps, and the hydraulics. Like that. Parking brake is set, so shutdown checklist completed. And now let's see if GSX is working. Alright folks, so welcome to a busy Hong Kong airport. Sorry about the night lighting not looking too great, especially at our gate. Over here there's some light. Emirates has some light as well, but it's only us sitting in the dark. But yeah, never mind. I think it was a beautiful 777 flight. Always cool to be flying close to max capacity of an aircraft, and that's what we did today. Very close to max takeoff weight. Very fascinating flying this aircraft, so always enjoyable. And yeah, we can have a quick look around. See how the airport looks. I'm not sure if like this orange yellow lighting is realistic for Hong Kong, but I will see if I can find some other dynamic lighting files that would be quite good. Alrighty guys, so yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again next time. Take care of yourselves, and bye bye.